Rex Heuermann, the man that is being accused of being the Long Island serial killer, the Gilgo Beach murderer, charged with two more murders. One, Jessica Taylor, whose partial remains were found near Gilgo Beach in 2011 and then linked to other partial remains that were found 8 years earlier in a remote wooded area in Marionville, but a 45-minute drive east. And another murder he has been charged with. Sandra Costella, 28-year-old New York woman whose remains were found in 1993 in the Hamptons. Her long unsolved murder has not previously been associated with the Gilgo Beach investigation until today. Joining me to discuss, Bob Motta, defense attorney, host of the podcast Defense Diaries. I know a lot of us were expecting at least one more charge today, but two? Surprised?
No,
No?
I'm not. I'm not. I think sadly, I think there's going to be more.
Yeah.
I mean, to like for us on the outside looking in, they've just added 2 decades to his activity
Mm-hmm.
in terms of times of being active. Because now we're going back to '93. I fear that there's going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
The question will be, can they piece it together? But the one thing that we know, based on what happened today, is that they're trying, and they are actively trying to put victims on this guy because they know he was a monster.
Yeah.
And this is not spurious evidence they're coming up with. The DNA stuff with his hairs being up. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm the always the biggest innocent until proven guilty. But in terms of which, and I always say, all right, look, we got to wait until trial, which is always true. But in terms of the strength of those bail applications and the evidence in which they've found in order to link him to these crimes is exceptionally powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Exceptionally powerful. I can't think of this is predates like touch DNA. They're finding too many of Asa and Heuermann's hairs on these victims for it to be all coincidence. So, like what they're doing is every single and they're working their way backward with this investigation. Now, like the one common factor in all of them is that the family is out of town when he's committing these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So they are figuring out exactly every date that either he's traveling and or Asa and the kid that's gone, they're gone, and the house is empty. They're then going into NamUs. They're saying, all right, like who died,
Mm-hmm.
in and around this area, who went missing in and around this area on those dates. And same with anywhere he traveled. They're putting, they're connecting those dots. They're going back to those agencies and saying, did you get any was there any biological left? Do
Yeah.
you have any DNA, probable DNA? And then they're going to private labs and they're having them develop profiles and they're coming up with home runs, man, like 99.9, blah, 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 blah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
And this one is connecting us to a body that was not on Gilgo Beach. This is in the
correct.
Hamptons we're talking about here. So if we were thinking, oh, well, he only dumps the bodies over here, this is showing it not so much. Like he probably has graves all over the place of wherever was convenient to dump the body at that time. 1993 in the hat. I mean, just think back. It's like The Bodyguard was a new movie at the time. I
Dude,
mean, I was a kid. We were
dude,
both
I'm
kids.
like
Yeah.
4 years out of graduating high
Yeah.
school,
I mean, yeah,
you know?
I remember taking a summer vacation and being a kid. And gosh, how far so we have something this far back. How do you think they connected the dots to this one with that much time that's been spent? Is it DNA? Is it something else? Could it have been some of Asa's talking to the documentarians? I mean, it's just pure speculation, but how do you think they connected something that far back?
I have a feeling that they found a document. Like Tierney, I was watching the presser today and he was talking about a document that they found that they put it together, and then so there's this document that they've had. Now, I don't know if they found that in that lockbox.
Hmm.
I don't know if they found that when they were going through his massive amount of hard drives and like, I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of data that they collected from his devices is mind blowing and terrifying. I mean, I think that they said during the presser today that there were 43 SD cards. I'm hoping very much that that is not significant of the number of victims, but
But what's on those SD cards, and why do you have so many SD cards?
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. And for a creep who, clearly kept souvenirs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like obviously we're speculating, but
Mhm.
your mind can go to some dark places, and this guy was clearly a monster.
Yeah.
So I mean, I fear that he was active for a long, long time. I mean, Gacy, they put 33 on him, and he was active for 6 years.
Mhm.
This guy who's 60 years old, and in 93, he's a relatively young man, and he's got the taste at that point in time.
We're talking almost like 3 decades here.
3 decades,
Yeah.
man, of like a dude that's warped. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's a scary thought. It's terrifying, actually, like just how much, I mean, it's like a never ending nightmare with this guy. And they're like, I don't know that they'll ever shut this investigation down. I mean, how could they?
Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.